So let me explain what I will discuss today in a couple minutes. So, for example, this. So they are not able to figure out on their own to get like how to get to this site. So that's a known example. So we have an issue with bots. Actually, I need to show. So like if you access this through here, which this link is of course meant for, that then it should work. So like we have a big issue with bots. So there are way too many bots. So at the moment, it is just 800 because it probably crashed quite recently, the site. So, but like this is what I know inside out. So I uh, got this thread number, for example, and so on. But I have to do a 3-minute video because I don't know how to share shorts. So when it comes to our system, so my aunt, my mother, like if there was a test about like the about how the powers are separated. So it's actually similar to very similar to the United States. We have like independent judges, so they are not independent no longer, but that would have been the idea, right? Especially the Supreme Court is not at all independent, but like that would be the idea. And then you have the Senate and like the House. So we have the cantons. Also, no, we have the Nationalrat and we have the Ständerat. So Nationalrat is similar, that it's kind of represented by the population size, how many they can send, and then we have the Ständerat, Senate. So there it is two for a full canton. A canton is basically the same as a state, as I understand it, but like our states are much smaller, of course. Now there, my aunt probably would not completely fail. So to give an overview, and then when it comes to name, like our seven dwarfs, the presidents, there I would definitely like to understand it. You don't need to know those names, but my aunt probably would be able to name them. Now she doesn't. Like so many other problems, she doesn't understand. Like she doesn't want to understand it proper. So she doesn't want to. Like there was this case where, but I think this is something like an effort that worked by my uncle. So there was the like there was just a choice between like the far right wing, the liberals around here, but it's right wing as well, and like the kind of left party. But then you had to vote as like strategically. You had to vote for the kind of, well, and it was so like grün liberal. So like it's not just like there is this component. So they are more like, I would, yeah, centrist, not the complete libtards you have with like Biden, and like FDP around here, right? So that's I can understand that but not in this case. So strategically, you have to vote as like it was stupid by the left that they didn't put their full like backing behind the other candidate, right? But stuff like that, my aunt never understood on her own. And then you have to tell her what to do, and that can only do like her husband, and I don't know, like she is not able to decide something like that on her own. And now we have a similar issue with like when it comes to, it's not difficult. Like our system, I would promote it, it should be like that worldwide actually. It takes very long. So that is what would need to change. So like this back and forth, like a decade until there was, so that I became an accepted invalidity case. But when it is decided, then you actually have the Ergänzungsleistungen. So that's the same, like the same part of the like funding as the Prämienverbilligung. So there we actually have direct support for the ones that don't earn enough, but you have to request that. And you cannot apply for Ergänzungsleistung before you are in rent. So normally it's because you are 65 and older and did only pay the minimum, right? So then you get the Ergänzungsleistung as well. Now that is really like how every system should be. The problem is that they like I'm now when it comes to the legal matters handicapped, definitely. No, I mean I'm in every regard handicapped, and my family just doesn't want to accept that. So it should be a fact that you are proud, that you boast about, that you didn't get unnecessary assistance by the government. But to a certain extent, you should also be proud that they are just not open. Their strategy is just to hide everything, right? And those are like these simple decisions. So like I paid my parents back in full, even though they didn't request that part back. It's just my aunt, my mother, they don't get that this support doesn't work like that. So my aunt still falls back to that. She thinks they supported me with like, together it would be 80,000 plus Swiss francs. For the years I lived there rent-free, for example. But it is not how it works. So because I had a contract for 0 Swiss francs, but I had to show this contract. So the years I lived, so the sister of my mother with my godmother, my aunt, here in Uznach, like, yes, I didn't pay rent, but then I didn't get, or we as a family didn't get Ergänzungsleistungen for that. So it's just that they kind of didn't unnecessarily get funding by the government, basically. But they didn't support me at all, and they don't even get that much, right? So this is how badly they would fail a test in this context. But like everyone, my brother, my doctor brother included, or now the ghostwriter, like he is one of the, definitely one of the, that wrote the most like master theses in those fields. I know, so like in economics and like I don't know, history and stuff like that. and he did that before it was kind of destroyed, the business with the large language models. But so like he doesn't know, for example, that yes, the dentist bills are covered by the Ergänzungsleistung, stuff like that. Just like stuff you would need to look up, wouldn't take a couple minutes. So of course, like why should they care? It's not their situation at all, right? But the problem is that my mother is used to not even properly ask those annoying questions. So she's used that it always takes. So I invested another 2 hours, one with my aunt and one with my mother, just in the last 3 days, and it's always the same. So like from this summary, like the first time, and especially if you are not from Switzerland, I can understand that it is maybe a bit complex, right? And so this has nothing to do, that was just our agreement, that I would pay them back in full and they would support me when it comes to, and I don't want to get away from so this is something my godfather doesn't understand. The goal is not that I get away from the disability pension, because the disability pension is just half what you need to, like, it's roughly, well, Swiss francs is a bit more than dollars at the moment, so it is $1,337 a month roughly. But this is not enough to live here. Like, you are below the Armutsgrenze, so below the poor threshold, and like this is not like it is not fun to be poor in Switzerland either. So like that is around 2,300 a month, right? And now with the EL, you get to like 2,450, something like that, a month. And because all the insurances, but and the dentist is covered and so on, it is actually a bit more. So I wouldn't consider myself poor no longer, but it's because of that mostly, right? So if you have more than 30% of your income to cover the rent, then you, like, there are other how you gauge that, or there are other means how you gauge that. So, but yeah, like, the problem is, of course, that my English is my fourth language or something like that. So I'm terrible at it, and I'm aware, but I did my best, and compared to the stuff that matters, like music, STEM fields, like numbers, like those are the languages I studied, not English, right? So and this is the easiest. So this is like if you don't have tidy handwriting, right? Nowadays you can just upscale that part, right? So that's really well, the YouTube AI is terrible, but I think that will change in the next year, or YouTube will be replaced by something where that works, right? So that you can upscale this kind of messy and stuttering in between, right? So that's there is a lot of potential. So why should you invest too much in it? And like, if you are not completely behind the moon, you can just read the transcript, and you can watch it in like 4 times speed if you need. And like, otherwise there is not. And well, then it would be about the heritage. It's just like, Because, well, I have this book. So this is. I think it's not the issue that so I'm allowed to show this. It's another book by the author of my book, and it's about her family. So a biography, an autobiography, similar to Brüche sind erlaubt. But it is meant for like a very small circle, and you cannot find this so in the bookstores or online. And that's why I know a bit the family system. And there it was, well, a similar issue. So the father was just like, they couldn't talk as long as the father was alive. And that's, well, in my so like when it comes to how long you expect them. So my father is like 6 to 8 years older than my mother, and I would guess my mother is healthier as well. And then the life expectancy of women around here is like a decade more. So like my father is probably unlikely to have more than 20 years, and my mother might have like 30 left. So then she would be something like 90, 95, something like that, right? Now, for me, 30 years, I will be 70 around. So that's the main issue, not just me. So on average, the Swiss citizen inherits actually more than I'm expecting on average, but roughly that. So it's so you could look it up. It's like I think it's like 400,000 Swiss francs. But way too late. What do you do with that when you are 70? That's a problem. My grandparents understood better than my parents and that generation. So, like, they were not able to afford a house without that support, for example. And they just forget that. They just forget that. And it's worse than that. So they still think they kind of have to control what project it is they support. But that's not how it works. So like, but there you cannot talk to my parents either. So don't even try. So they have so much unused. It's such a mess. I would not be able to sleep like that. But it's of course not just my parents. So there are a lot worse cases in my family. But that's not even like my. So my request is just that because I'm now handicapped, legally in every regard, I get this. What is that? An Armbinde in the train, because you don't see it on first glance and so on. And like, they just don't accept that. My father doesn't accept it. Like, his version is still that I'm kind of pretending. But there, we have other issues. So, like, he never supported me when it mattered, and he made a lot of promises the last time, 2022, in the context when it was about this reintegration attempts, job attempts. So, like, yes, he is probably not a proper professor. He's just teaching those statistics courses. But like, otherwise, he was like a proper part of the academic world, and he didn't even think about doing what he promised, and I have it recorded. So I recorded this because my job coach didn't recover from that. So she fell ill Corona most likely and didn't recover since. So that's another fact. So long COVID most likely. And like my father, like everyone is aware that he did not keep the word and his promises. Now, it was not financially directly, but so you have to be aware those parents, my father and especially my godfather, they have a tendency to not keep their word. So we started to write it down. But my father attempted it again. So I made a contract with my mother that I would pay them back. But we did that way too late. We did that in 2022. That from now on I would just get roughly what we expect I have now, and I would pay them back once there is a decision. And even though my father signed that in written form, he tried to claim that he understood it differently, so that it would be just until the end of the year. And there are so many examples, and you like one of them is like a detail, right? But together, like he didn't try anything else besides. So my interactions with my father are just like that. So he promises something, and then when you kind of do your part, then he lets you completely. So he tricks you into. So that's why I'm this good at role playing Loki. Also the Norse. From Norse mythology, Loki, the god there, so the trickster, because of my father. Like, he is such a manipulator, and he's not bad at it. And it's not always that I think that he means this bad from. So I don't think my godfather is more of a psychopath, but my father is not necessarily like that. It's just when he when it doesn't completely work out, then you are just worth nothing. He doesn't even consider. He just looks for himself, and that he doesn't have trouble. And this is simple, obvious. It's the only one that doesn't get it is my mother, of course. And so yes, I don't want anything to do with my father. Like that, never. So he broke that many promises just in recent years, right? And now the other promise they broke is about maybe those 35,000 Swiss francs. So first that. So they want to be the ones that. As we agreed, so they want to be the ones that managed to get me, or that they have a real attempt at getting away from the Ergänzungsleistungen. But now, they want to do all those conditions. It's just not how it works. So they didn't do nothing. They didn't do their job in 2022. And we should learn from that. It's not something they are, they made it worse, especially my father. It was really not just a bit worse. It was way worse what he did. And but then the other thing we would need to discuss is about the heritage, because yes, at the moment, it's just that my mother wants, for her, without thinking through, it is fair that each of my, we are three, so each of those siblings gets a third. Now, that is for some real naive, underdeveloped psychologically children. So that would be a fair way to do it if you like have one apple in the school breaks and you are three. It's not how it works, and it was not like that. Like they didn't support us equally. So you have to support as a family. You kind of have to invest what makes sense. So like if someone like studies music and needs a better instrument, so like this is why you can note that you supported someone more than the others. But like my mother doesn't want to think it through, and this is really a problem I excel at, unlike the rest in this family, because like this is a simple problem. There is a solution, so there is a game theoretical optimum how you do that. So do you want to do it this distribution fairly, or do you want that everyone gets the same amount? So those are different problems, but I can offer a solution for both of them. So that's not difficult for me. Like, but that is something I can do tool assisted, and I was able to do it before that. But now you can even guarantee that it is the like fairest solution, or that it is and that's something they just don't understand. So that's new about like a neural network, and like this is this simple of a problem that ChatGPT probably so like if you kind of proofread it works as well. It's just them that don't get it. And so I took 2 hours to explain that. It was actually less than what I'm explaining now content-wise. And then they want to discuss it with my uncle again, even though it is exactly what I discussed with my uncle. That was the reason I called my mother, like not even an hour earlier. And like this is the tragedy that is going on now with my parents for like a decade unnecessarily, and it's all to keep up this illusion that my mother, like, of course she is able to pay her bills with like the rent she has, and like she doesn't even have to pay also like her pension, right? And like but it doesn't matter. So what you can do, like they did in the last moment I did this walk together with Johanna 2 weeks ago. It's like with my mother, so we were able to change this light, the broken light, also this neon Lampe. Otherwise, like it was similar with Johanna, so I wouldn't mention too much because it's terrible. Like she is doing such a terrible, like unnecessary suffering because again she is too proud to think it through with the psychologist or me. It would work with me as well. She just doesn't trust others, right? Because she doesn't trust herself. And it's the same issue with my mother. She doesn't trust herself to make those simple decisions on her own. Because she never, like so many women are like that. But it's not just women, of course, right? So, but like, there are not many examples where it's this simple to offer a proven game theoretical optimal solution. They are just not aware like that. So in that regard, they are really less worth than bread. Because bread you can eat. They are not even aware to take, like it's like the engine. So if you're cheating at chess and you have like this anal bead or clock that tells you what move to play, they are not even aware, like they are not even able to do that. They don't even trust, like because they think before they understood it. And that leads to the worst outcome, that they always decide way too late. and then then now I'm not dependent. So for me, that's a lot of money at the moment. So let's be frank about that. But I would have others. I would now have other options. Um, and but that's the real problem when I didn't have them. Then when you were dependent on those, like that was where the real damage was done. And now instead of making up for it, they continue, and that leads to that you just cut all ties with them, right? But I expect them, because they have nothing. They have nothing besides like they never even had a thought about investing in something like halal, meaningful. It's all they have. So I expect them, and if not them, well then they're, hopefully not everyone is this plain stupid as those cretins. So that's exactly the term I would use. So that's like it is based on a disease, right? But it's a yeah. But it has to do that something is underdeveloped, and so complete unnecessary idiots. That's exactly what they are. My mother, and the problem is mostly that my uncle or my father don't. So they gave up. They no longer tell them that. And when it comes to their health, they are doing well. So they are surprisingly, yeah. So I will discuss. So I guess I'm prepared now for the Zoom recording, but that will be in German, and I have to expand because